And welcome back. Let's take a look at those trending topics now. And here they are. First up, hashtag Ramaphosa. And pretty much like yesterday, a whole lot of things around the president being said. So among others, of course, the performance of the African National Congress, especially during the elections of councils across the country. And so much being said about the performance of the ANC, but also the performance of the ANC under President Ramaphosa. Someone like Herman Mashaba, for example, tweeting, the ANC has lost control of all three Gauteng metros for the first time in our democratic history. This is the new dawn, not that nonsense, Abo Ramaphosa. Let the work begin. Andile Lungisa, for example, also tweeting, and that also getting quite a bit of traction on that thread. And he says, what is common about the DA Herman Mashaba Action SA, President Ramaphosa, and not the ANC, President Ramaphosa and EFF, they have the same funders. I hope we all know the agenda of the funders. Then of course the eThekwini situation, where some are saying, so Jacob Zuma's ANC saved Ramaphosa's ANC in that metro. All of that, as I say, speaking to the trend that is Ramaphosa, quite a bit of things going on there. And someone also, Mtuli, says, don't be surprised if Ramaphosa surreptitiously goes around the corner and influences the DA and NGOs to lodge a case with the NPA against Mayor Kaunda. So those are some of what's being said, and this is why, of course, President Ramaphosa is trending. And the energy crisis I see also coming in there, and just a lot that is going wrong at the moment. Eskom key among those. So Ramaphosa trending for various reasons then. And then the STEM. And the STEM and eThekwini I'm going to speak to together because that's the next trend. So yesterday, during that reconvened sitting in eThekwini, where Xolisi Kaunda was, of course, elected mayor, defeating the DA's Nicole Graham, the EFF members in that council, when the national anthem was being sung, they sang, and when the STEM came on, they all sat down. So this is, of course, got to do with what Julius Malema had said previously about the STEM, saying that this is not about Afrikaans, it's about the STEM per se. And that, of course, then started a whole lot of conversation around the STEM and what should happen around this part of the national anthem. So the debate, of course, will linger on, but that's what happened, and it happened in eThekwini. Hence, I said I would take those two together. And moving on to the next one, Fikile. This, of course, Fikile Mbalula, and many people talking about what has happened under his tenure as transport minister. But here, the ANC press conference as well that was postponed from the previous day, and Mbalula tweeting that we didn't lose elections, we lost to coalitions because of our failure to garner outright majority to govern. And some people saying poor Minister Mbalula has gone through all the phases of grief. They've seen him live through that through social media and other media platforms. But also, then people started focusing on his portfolio as Minister of Transport, talking about the failure and just how the rail infrastructure in this country has been decimated under the watch of Minister Fikile Mbalula. And a lot of that also, speaking to some of the other issues around transport and saying that Minister Fikile Mbalula has failed. He's failed in that portfolio, and of course has also failed as the ANC's campaign leader for the election that has passed. So that is why Mbalula is trending. And then, of course, hashtag Wenger. And this, of course, Arsene Wenger. A lot of talk around Arsene, and always the case when things are happening at Arsenal, not going well. But of course, there is that documentary, and people basically talking about that, past players giving their views on the impact that Arsene Wenger has had on their careers, and just people reminiscing in the main, as it were, as everybody looks to that documentary, Invincible, by Arsene Wenger, of Arsene Wenger, I should say, and really, really looking forward to watching this, and all the players past who went through Arsenal during the time of Arsene Wenger, everybody coming out saying their piece and speaking of how he influenced their careers. So Arsene Wenger, Invincible, the definitive story in his own words. That documentary, of course, the one to watch. And that takes care of our trending topics this morning. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll head back to